What you doing? We're videoing, by the way.
Making room.
Making room. Why? Why are you doing that?
Because it's a pain in the ass to be
Low.
running 20s. And,
Low and 20s?
yeah.
Oh, but it looks so good.
Yeah, that's what they say.
It looks great. You just don't have to turn.
That's what I fell for, too.
You can't turn it, but it looks fantastic.
Yeah.
Did you make any room?
I think I did. You know what else I'm doing? Taking these stupid things out.
So, what's the plan for today?
Plan is to get it to the frame shop.
Okay.
So they can put a little tweak.
Danny comes through again with his car hauler and his...
Plan to get it to the frame shop to do a little bit of tweaking to it.
And then we can set the bed permanently on it, more or less?
Yeah. Yeah, everything should be. By the time I get it out of the frame shop, the frame isn't off by much. It had originally gotten popped in one of these corners just a little bit.
Is that why the bed sits a little crooked?
Yeah.
Okay. You can kind of see it elevation wise.
Yeah. I don't know.
It doesn't really
elevation issue.
It doesn't really show it on the back of the cab, but this corner's down on your side.
Yeah, and
it's like the bed's.
It's got a little bit of diamond in it, and these trucks they bend very easily. I honestly think it's going to take the frame shop longer to set it up than it will to pull it.
Is this the same shop that pulled my first Roadrunner?
Leroy's.
Yeah.
Independence.
Yeah.
I didn't know you had that pulled.
You did it. You took it to him because the front end got punched in. Remember?
Good God, I don't remember that.
Push the core support back into the... Yeah. Anyway.
I don't remember that, but you know.
That's only been...
I remember working on your Roadrunner.
It's only been 30 years ago. Is it possible?
Yeah, it's definitely possible.
All right, you want to...
So they should have the frame straightened, and I'm going to have them align it, too.
Did you get anything out of that?
I think I did. I think I gained a little bit more.
You want me to try it?
Yes.
All right, here, video it. It's rolling, so just see how it goes. Clutch, because it matters.
Yeah, let's turn it and see what it does. Keep going. Right about there it hits. So we got better. Keep going. Let's go back to the right. It's just now starting to hit. That's better. That's improvement. Hold on. Keep it right there for a sec. Yeah, it's not even really touching over here, but
we can put it on the trailer.
you want to give it a whirl? Yeah, I haven't even used that clutch, so you're the pro. If something goes wrong, you're on, you know, it's gonna forever. I mean, it's okay because it's not yours, really. What? Something wrong? Oh, no, you're fine. You look pretty good over here. Yeah, take it back a little bit farther. Let's double check. Okay, straighten it up. Now hook back over a little bit. There you go. That looks pretty good from this side. Yeah, just don't use that much momentum since, you know, we got these teeter-totter blocks back here. Good. Actually, I'm going to go from the other side, so if shit goes wrong over there, I can tell you to stop. How are you over there? Oh, hold on. Hold on. Whoa, 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 whoa. Come on back down. You need to be over about 2 more inches. I don't remember this truck being this wide. Hold on a sec. I gotta stop this.
So it took both of us to load it. Sorry you missed the details, but it did pull itself back up onto the trailer even with that on-off clutch, which is probably a pivot point thing that we're going to work on later. It still moves itself, you just got to be real good with that clutch. So nothing's wrong with it, it's an install thing. Pivot points are off, so at least that's what we think. The beauty is this guy right here is leaving off to its next adventure in a frame shop to make it beautiful, square, and awesome. As the saying goes, hate to watch it go, but I love to watch it leave. It's a great looking truck. I love that truck. Hasta la bye-bye.
Hey y'all, so for those of you, 7 of you that have been following this build of the F100 day challenge that is now at day probably 523, if I had to guess. And that's not like a way off guess, that's a pretty damn close guess. So again, the saga continues, and here's where we're at. So the truck went to the frame shop, as discussed in prior videos, and after some review, not heavy review, but light review by the frame shop, I've changed my mind. I am not going to get that frame pulled. It's not a, it's too bad to get it pulled kind of thing. It's a tight ass thing. Let's put it that way. So the amount of money that they want to pull that frame, I'm better off to cut this one down. So this is the original chassis for that truck. I had a short bed and a short bed chassis, which I mixed that cab and rest of the body on from this truck. So you know what? I brought this chassis in. I was trying to sell it actually, and I'm glad I didn't. I brought it in, double checked it for square, made sure everything was good, and it is. So been doing some research and talking to some people that have cut these down, and honestly, it's not bad. So I will probably have less time in making this a short bed than I would taking that back to the frame shop, waiting for them to get done with it, and me going to pick it back up. And it's not going to cost me a penny because I've already got it. So, and I've never done one before, so why not give it a shot? So 330 Garage and several other guys on YouTube have done it this way. So this right here will move to here and just overlap. Fish plate inside or outside, box it if you feel it's necessary, and move on. That's 16 inches. Some guys say 16 and a quarter to do. Both of them seem to work. 4 inches off the back, straight cut. And I've talked to several guys that have straight cut this, fish plated and boxed it. I tell you what, unless you're using it as a full-on drag car, I don't see that being a problem either way. I'm going to go ahead and do the notch or the Z cut, as some of them call it, and just do it that way. But like I said, I don't see a problem either way. This chassis is fairly clean otherwise. I mean, the scaly rust on the back, just like all of them. So the plan is, now, that time frame I threw out to do this, and you know, the less time and all that, it's not including swapping everything over. But honestly, there's a couple things I would have done different on that truck, and I'm going to address those when I swap everything over. So we'll see how that goes. I'll keep you updated. But I'm going to go ahead and get this thing. I just took the rear bumper off of this thing, and it wasn't bad enough getting the bolts out of this sucker, because they were, fine threaded bolts that have been on there probably since 1970. But they welded it too. They put a bead here. They put 2 beads along the bottom. They put another bead at the back. I guess they thought this bumper might fall off. So here's another thing. This bumper, if somebody wants it, it's available. Ooh, Jax is on the prowl. What's she after? Get it, Jax. Okay. It's probably a grasshopper. She loves them. Anyway, so this is a pretty straight, nice, solid bumper, honestly. It's got a little tweak at the end over here that a little heat would fix up. But if somebody is wanting to do something original, because I bet that thing was put on by the dealer as an aftermarket add-on. It's solid, man. It is a solid bumper, and it's not rusted through. It would look good on somebody's resto, just not mine. Had a call I had to take. Sorry, guys. You didn't even know that. I slipped away for a second to take a call. Okay, so the bumper would be good for somebody for an F-Series. I don't know. It came off of a bump, so whatever those will fit on, I imagine it'd fit all the way up to 79, I would think. I don't know. But if somebody has a need for this, the brackets are still intact. I'd cut it as carefully as I could. It's a good bumper if somebody wants to use it. I'd hate to see it go to scrap. Somebody I think would want it. And it's built beefy. So, all right, back to the truck. So, yeah, some of this stuff I would have done differently. So you know what? We're going to do it differently. And that may or may not include the drivetrain. I'm not sure. I've had second thoughts about that. And Cam's probably going to kill me because he's got a ton of time in this thing. But I may change that because I like the 6. This truck, when it's done, will be a driver, right? No matter what I do. I'm not going to do anything to make it powerful and fast. I just want it reliable. I want to hit the key and be able to take off wherever I want to go, literally wherever I want to go. So the 306 is the perfect thing for that. The only thing I'm doubting now is maybe the 5-speed. I'm not so sure that the 5-speed is going to be ideal for this as far as it being a driver, kind of almost a spare vehicle in the family. Not that everybody couldn't learn to drive a stick. I'm just second guessing it a little bit. I've got that, which is a 4.6 automatic out of a 99 Grand Marquis that I could put in here. I don't know. I've got all the wiring for it. I've got everything for it. So it would slide right in. I've seen a couple videos on that. Not slide right in, but, you know, some mods and you're good to go. So more to come on that, but here's where we're going. This will be shorter, 20 inches altogether, 16 out of the front part of the frame, 4 out of the back. This will go here. Stay tuned. As mentioned earlier, back bumper off, drive shaft out. Didn't yank it out of here because it's dumping trans fluid. Got the rest of the emergency brake stuff out of the way. What else? All the brake lines and electrical out of there. Good to go. I think we are ready. I'm gonna weld a brace just from here on over, which would fall on the inside of the frame in this area, just so this doesn't do any flip-flop. I saw one guy, when he did it, it sprung a little bit, and they had to use ratchet straps and everything to get back in place, which not a big deal, but just figure if it doesn't move, you're better off. And you wouldn't think it would, because it's not far back behind that cross member, and that's a cross member that goes to the top of the rail and the bottom. But I'm not going to take any chances. It's, I don't know, a foot out there, so let's just be safe. So I'll tack that in there, crossed, and don't think I'll need to do it over here because it's that close. And again, that's a cross member that goes front and bottom, or top and bottom. So I think I'm going to do that just to avoid any problems, and mark the other side and start cutting. Yeah, why not? It's a learning process. Hey, worst case scenario, if I F this up and this becomes unusable, then I straighten that. What do I got to lose? Let's give it a try. And like I said, something I've never done before, so let's see if I can do it. Measure 18 times, cut once. Yeah, it's a good way to go. Okay, so got everything cleaned up and marked. Zapped in a little bit of comfort right there so that doesn't move. Got both sides measured many times. We'll hope we cut once and call it good. I don't know, it's a little nerve-wracking when you do it for the first time. But like I said, if I screw it up, so be it. Hey Jack, what do you think? All right, it's Jay Quellen approved. Let's get it. So some of the videos I've watched, everybody, puts a little jack stand there. Obviously we want to make sure that doesn't come crashing down. And I used what is really handy, the screw to tighten jack stands. So that is just sitting exactly where it should be. And sometimes if people don't take off the rear bumper, which I've already done, this thing tends to go after it's cut. So shouldn't do that now. I'm going to put the jack kind of up snug against that rear cross member. But I went ahead and welded a little stand here so it won't, just go crazy and fall or spring or do anything crazy. So with this jack under that cross member and that little piece that I tacked in there, it should be fine. All right, now let's cut. Well, I guess it's too late to turn back now. So my only recommendation is to take your time. Make good, slow cuts. It was very important to me that I got my cuts very straight, and they seem to come out very straight. Just take it down. That's it. I just dropped that thing on the floor. Just cut it and just dropped it. So I will obviously clean up my edges and V this in a little bit because I'm going to weld it on the outside. And I will probably fish plate it on the inside. We'll see. And that might be all I do. I don't know that I'm going to box it. I don't know that it's necessary. So I think once you Z it like this, you weld it solid, burn it good on the outside, fish plate it good on the inside. I don't see the need for it. I don't know. We'll see. All right, let's cut the other side. And boom, just like that. A lot of sparks and ouchies later. She's out of there. So this one, same way. Cut, fell right out, no problems. I'm going to use those frame chunks for my fish plates for the inside. Anyway, I'm going to clean these up and see about getting this butted back together and see how it fits. Do some measuring. I'll let you know. So I'm back together. Well, kinda. I'm in the ballpark. Got it up there, clamped it back together. I'm trying to figure out why I've got such a gap here. I think it's because my angles up here were a little off. So I'm going to clearance those a little bit because I measured my pieces I cut out and everything's pretty square except for those cuts on the top. I think I got this one too far angled like this. So I'm going to clearance that a little bit, squeeze those a little bit more together. And funny thing though, this measurement, another recommendation, if you're doing this, take a lot of prior measurements. I took some. I didn't take, and what I wish I would have done, I didn't take a bottom to bottom measurement. Because logically, you're taking 16 inches out here. So that minus 16 is your new measurement. And actually, that right there, that new measurement is exactly 16 inches on both sides, less than 38 and 7/16. So I feel pretty good about the top. I didn't take a bottom. And I think, like I said, I think this one is angled a little bit. So I'm going to clearance that out a little bit. I'm going to wiggle it around. I took some new point measurements, and I'm the same on both sides right now. And I took my square measurements from the back of this hole, which is the front bed hole, which is front side of frame, to my back corner bed holes, and I'm within a 1/16. So I'm good there as far as square and it sitting back up on there. Just wish I would have taken some bottom measurements from point to point. So, and it looks good, eyeballing down it looks good, but I'm not going to start zapping yet. I'm going to sleep on it. I'm going to go get some sleep and come back out here tomorrow and start fresh and remeasure and wiggle this a little bit. And then, I don't know, tack it and zap it. I don't know. Make my plates for the inside and just start burning the heck out of this thing back together. Yeehaw, here we go. It's a new day. And I put a little pressure on it and wiggled it around, and I think I'm looking really good. I'm more concerned about my top right here and right here than I am this middle stuff, that right there. I can deal with that. So that's where we're gonna go. The other side actually looks a little better. But the measurements, everything seems square. I got it matching on both sides. Like I said, I'm more concerned with these and the way this fits up than I am with this. That you can lose in translation. These need to be pretty much spot on. So I did a cross measurement from here to my back bed bolt hole, and vice versa, and then did some top measurements. The one that I did measure or mark, it's right on, exactly 16 inches less. And I did some side measuring just to make sure we're equal side to side. And hey, I mean, let's be honest, if you're off an eighth, even an eighth on this, as long as it's not having to do with the square, you're going to be fine. And by that, I mean, if your bed bolts don't line up just perfect, that's all stuff you can deal with. On these old trucks, none of these frames were perfect when they came out of the plant, honestly. That's just life. And this truck has been through, well, it's a 70, it's as old as I am. So it's been through a lot of abuse in 53 years. So it looks square, it measures square, must be square. Right, Jax? That's what I thought. All right. Jax gives us the paw up to build some reinforcements and do some burning. Let's get her done. And then I ain't even probably going to show you guys. The last cut is literally 4 inches from here to here. Straight shot. The only thing you have to do is transfer your location, your bed bolt hole, and you're done. I'm not running a bumper, so I don't need to worry about anything else. All right, let's get to it. I said, let's get to it. Hey, let's get to it. What, if you don't make eye contact? Yeah, okay. So I used this left-hand side of the frame rail to cut my fish plates out of. What do they call it, a fish plate? I don't know. Let's just call it a plate. Sounds awkward. Anyway. So it's, we know it's the right thickness. I'm gonna put those on the inside. I think I've decided. So I will get them placed, clean up the back side of the frame, and get that taken care of. And I think I'll zap those into place. Just tack them into place. That way I can really, really burn through this real good and into that plate. So, yeah, that's where we're going next. Let's do it. So this is all you need to do this project. Jeez, what a mess. Well, it's burned. We're not going to get the camera too close. You know, I'm more of a grinder than I am a welder. But, you know, I spent quite a while setting up the heat and the wire speed on this thing. And I did so many test beads and test welds. And man, I got it dialed in where I was happy as can be. And it didn't matter. The universe said, no, you get bird shit. So, yeah, so it goes. It's burned. Trust me, these welds are not cold. So they're just not pretty either. So here we go. And chopped off the last 4 inches, re-drilled the bed holes. So, you know, ballpark. And right when I get done, here comes lazy ass to, you know, make sure I'm doing it right. So it is now a short bed chassis. So I'm going to clean up some of that stuff. Not much, because it is what it is. And I don't want to take off too much of the welds because you know what that does. So anyway, we'll clean those up. And we will, I guess probably the next thing to do, we'll pretty that up a little bit. Put a little lipstick on those pig welds. And probably pull this engine and trans out. God, I just got rid of that 246 cylinder that came out of this. Has been sitting over there. Now I got another damn engine laying around. I guess I need to, I don't know, pop the valve covers off and take a peek inside this engine. It spins, and I don't know. I don't know anything about it. I guess I could put a distributor in it and see if it starts and sell it, but I don't know. We'll see what happens. So I'm done for the day. It is time to go do anything but grind and weld on an F100 chassis.